Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me for today's video. As you can see, I am outside and today I'm going to Liverpool. I haven't actually done a video like this for a while now, you know, where I've sort of been out somewhere. I think the last video that I did where it was like that was in my Berlin videos. But basically what I'm doing today is I'm going to take you guys to the Beatles Story by the Albert Dock. If you guys watched the video where Becky and I went to Liverpool for the day before we went to see the Elvis tribute night, you'll remember we did go to the Albert Dock very briefly. But yeah, so I'm going to the Beatles Story today. My slot is for 12:30 and I think you can film in there, but if not, you'll still be able to see my journey today and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So yeah, right now I'm just waiting for my train, which is in about 10 minutes time. So I will be filming a little bit on the train and then when I actually get into Liverpool. Okay, I will see you guys in a second. Okay, so I'm in Liverpool now, guys, and it's really cold, so the hats have to come out. So, like I said, my slot is at 12:30, but before that, I'm going to go into World Apart, which is that nerdy shop that me and Becky go into, and I'm going to look at the Loungefly bags and some of the other horror stuff. So, let's go in there now. So, I got another Loungefly bag, guys. I'm so glad with it. I'm going to need to start getting display cabinets for it soon. I was just saying to the girl, like, how much of, like, a collection it can start becoming, and she is the same. But I do have justification for it. It was reduced, and I'm part of the Loungefly members club at Worlds Apart, which means I can get discount. So I'd highly recommend that if you... I don't know if they're like a chain thing or whether it's just like an individual thing in Liverpool. I've got a feeling it's more of like an individual thing in Liverpool. So if you are in the Liverpool area or in Merseyside, I would highly recommend it, because like I say, I got discount on this on all of my Loungefly bags from Worlds Apart, so I would recommend it. Obviously if you get them from the other website, Truffle Shuffle, you can sometimes get like discount codes for it, but I don't think they have a Loungefly members club. But yeah, that's where I mainly get my Loungefly bags from. So now I'm off to possibly get a drink and then go to the Beatles Story. It's extremely windy, very Story. Here's a carousel that we're just passing now. I don't think it's too far away, because there's two parts that I'm getting quite mixed up with. There's the Beatles Story, and then there's another museum that's connected to it. But I think I'm not too far away from it now. I think it's probably just like down this the second right, sorry. So here it is, and I just need to try and figure out how I actually get in. So this is just a little introduction to the Beatles family history. It's John, Paul, Ringo and George there. I've also got a audio tour guide with me here as well, just here, and I have headphones on for it, and I really like it because it means I can just sort of go at my own pace. Yeah, so let's go more into the tour. So here is a flyer for Jerry and the Pacemakers. If you didn't know, Jerry and the Pacemakers are also a well-known band from Liverpool. They sung the Liverpool anthem "You'll Never Walk Alone," which is always played at the Liverpool football matches. My dad is a big Liverpool supporter, so I hear it a lot. Matthew Street is also a well-known street in Liverpool because of this, as well as Penny Lane. This is meant to look like some of the streets back in those days when the Beatles were first starting. I've actually been to this pub that they've got here, the Grapes. Obviously it's not a real pub, but it's meant to look like that. So this is meant to be the cabin where the Beatles would play and go to a lot. And this is what it would have looked like back in the 60s. And let's go down. This is so cool. I've never actually been in this part.
Exactly who the Beatles were. Brian visited the cabin to see the Beatles and was immediately impressed by the group. He could see the obvious.
This is what the cabin would have looked like back in the 60s. Honestly, this is brilliant. Like, as you can see, it's all set up of how it would have looked when people were going to eat, going to drink. And I think, yeah, there's some pictures of Liverpool as So let's have another look around. This part's about Paul McCartney's solo career.
And performers alike. The Beatles already had quite a large following within the city, which increased with their regular performances at the Cavern. Fans found that the Beatles' interpretation of early American rock and roll, together with the originality of their own material.
So now I am leaving the Cavern. Just gone. Got the wrong door open. And now the tour continues. So this is obviously like meant to be the records, I believe. Let's go to the next part of the story. NEMS. So this was run by Brian Epstein, who was another part of the Beatles story. And this is about the fifth Beatle, Brian, who is often referred to as the fifth Beatle, I believe. And here we are at Abbey Road. It's meant to be Abbey Road Studios, where I believe the Beatles did record a lot of their songs. So here's Yesterday. Yesterday is actually one of my favourite songs by the Beatles. And this is meant to be like the recording studio, I believe. I really like the attention to detail here. I've took a little bit of a break from listening to the audio for a bit, just so I can talk for a bit, because it's quite quiet in here, so I'm taking advantage of that. And then that's Help, another favourite song by the Beatles of mine. Yeah, this is really interesting, and this is one of their most famous albums here, A Hard Day's Night. And I believe that I can't remember much of the songs on that album. It could be this one here. So yeah, let's get back to the audio tour. Okay, so we're in the next part now, and we've got videos here of what the hype was in the 1960s. And as you can see, it's all the young girls at the time who were absolutely crazy for the Beatles. Like, honestly, this was probably like the same as when One Direction or someone, like, you know, as someone growing up with like boy bands and that, this was probably like at that same sort of level, you know, One Direction, JLS, The Wanted, you know, all the bands like that. So it's still obviously relevant today, you know, the whole like fan culture and that. Even people with like Justin Bieber and that, it's not just been, you know, boy bands, but like, you know, any band that young ladies or, you know, young girls are crazy about. This is the hype for it, and I can sort of, you know, understand these girls' perspectives and that, because, you know, that was probably the same as like me trying to get like the attention of Harry Styles or someone. But yeah, so they've got I don't know if these are like official sort of signs, but yeah, this is what the girls would often make. And yeah, it's like I say, it's so relevant to this day still, you know, because I've grown up with boy bands myself, so I can understand like You know, if you see them in like getting off their plane and that coming into Liverpool and that, you know, you are going to go crazy. Even with like the 1975 and that, you know. So yeah, Beatlemania was it's a very thing. It's much impacted to this day still. And my mum will obviously remember, you know, the hype from when she was younger. You know, it was all the Jackson 5, the Osmonds, the Bay City Rollers, David Cassidy. So it obviously still goes on to this day. And then in the 80s, I presume it would have been people like, you know, Duran Duran, Michael Jackson, Bon Jovi, and then, you know, the 90s, I think it would have been more like Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, and then obviously when I was growing up, it was like Take That. Take That more in the 90s and that. And then when I was growing up, it would have been, just trying to think, you know, The Wanted, One Direction. So yeah, Beatlemania did leave an impact on the world. So this is obviously meant to be a plane. This is so cool. So this was when the Beatles came to America. I can't remember what year it was, but they famously performed at the Ed Sullivan Show, and that is a lot. That's like a big show in America, and it would have been where a lot of these bands started. You know, their performances and that, like I say, the Beatles performed, the Jackson 5 performed on it as well when they were younger. So yeah, this is like the American invasion, as they call it. And the Beatles were really, really big in America as well. Like it's, I kind of forget how big they were in America, because obviously they're a British band, so I always associate them with just England. But yeah, when you sort of are reminded how big they are in America, it's exactly the same as it was over here. So we are at the magical mystery tour part of the story. This song has a lot of memories for me, because when I was a kid I was in a dance class, and this is one of the songs that we danced to one night on a show. So yeah, I have a lot of memories with this song. Around before I go on to the next part of the audio tour, which will be around 9 o'clock. So this part here was about John and Yoko Ono when they did their Peace and Love artistry. And then this is the next part of the audio tour. I was just having a sit down and listening to the part about Paul McCartney's solo career when he formed the band Wings, and also when he married Linda. So let's go on to Lennon and McCartney. This part's about Ringo's career. I actually have a lot of memories about Ringo's voice because he used to narrate the Thomas the Tank Engine TV show that I watched when I was a kid. So whenever I do hear his voice, it does take me back to that time. You know, just not having a care in the world really. John here. As you can see, this is all this is voice over in different languages, and I'm really intrigued by this one because this looks like sign language, which I am actually trying to learn soon. So I'm gonna have to like memorize this. But yeah, so she's in Chinese, German. I'm a bit unsure what that one is, but yeah, this part's really nice. I love a lot of John Lennon's like messages and that during this time. Yeah.
Jo, protože Flies a Liverpool jako stalo, to miluju, to je nejlepší album, který jsem měl nejvíc lidí. Jo, pro mě jo, no.
You need to keep that one. That one's mine. Because you need to give it back at the end.
Okay guys, so that is the end of the tour that I've just done now. I'm just coming up to the Fab 4 store and then that'll be the end of it. So here we are. So I'm just going to have a little nosy round here and then set off. Okay, so I've just got out now. Honestly, that was brilliant. I don't remember it being like that though. I think it's changed. The last time I went to it was like 4 years ago, so I don't remember it all that much. I'm even thinking if it was the same one that I went to. I might have gone to the museum. But yeah, I really liked that you could go at your own pace. You had an audio tour there. And yeah, I need to do some more stuff like that now. And yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Like, I learned a lot more than I thought I knew about the Beatles. So now I'm just going back into the shopping part of Liverpool and then I'll be setting off home. So these are those boats that me and Becky came to see last time. If you remember us telling you, they actually used to have a hotel that was replicated as the Titanic, because the Titanic was built in Liverpool. And they also had the Yellow Submarine as well. They don't do that anymore. I don't actually know why. I think these boats, though, I think they're just like owned by people who can't sail them. I think one of them is possibly a restaurant. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the boats again. So let's go back into the shops. Okay guys, so that is the end of the video. I've got myself a cup of tea from Starbucks while I wait for my train. Yeah, it's been a really good day. I need to do stuff more like this. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the video and that I hope you enjoyed the Beatles tour, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!